Welcome to episode 403 of the Geeks for the Win podcast, the tech and gaming podcast from thegeeksforthewin.com, where we cover all things geeky. I'm your host, William McDonald, and I'm joined by my co-host, Stuart.
Known across the internet as Casual Terror.
Okay, we're back for a tech gaming episode.
Yes.
So I guess, Stuart, you said you had a lot of stuff you've been playing. I'm interested.
Well, not a lot, but I do have some actual games to talk about. But before then, since this is our tech show, I'm going to finally talk about my new tech that I've had since the last time we did our tech show.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
because I have completely redone my audio setup and spent quite a bit of money on this. I now have a Go XLR. Nice. And I can do, a lot of fun stuff that I've been, just kind of messing with. I can
do voices.
All just actual physical buttons I press. They're actual sliders I can use to lower my voice, and your voice and the music and one other thing. Usually it's the game audio, but and then of course, if you get a Go XLR, you need an XLR microphone. So I have picked up an Electro Voice RE 320, which is like a $300 microphone. Then of course, you need a shock mount and a windscreen and an arm. I needed a new arm because the arm I had was like a $30 arm. I am not gonna put a $300 microphone on a $30 arm that can barely hold up my half-pound Audio Technica mic, which there's this thing right here. The mount, the mic, and the windscreen is like 3.5 pounds. It's heavy, and I'm still trying to dial in a lot of my voice stuff. So you might hear the EQ change from stream to stream or from podcast to podcast, but so far I like it. So yeah, a $500 mixer, $300 microphone, $100 shock mount, and a $100 arm. That's that's $1,000 that I've spent on this audio setup.
Yeah, that's
And you know what? I think my audio has definitely improved.
I mean, it sure as hell better.
Guys, that's what I was telling you when I first got it. I should sound fantastic. But considering I can no longer use, I could, but I'm not. Not using RTX voice anymore. I think it sounds good. You don't hear my room noise and all that, and that was really. I've wanted a dynamic mic for a long time, just for that, just because it picks up way less room noise than a condenser mic. So I finally got one, and I am satisfied with it.
Yeah, I think my next tech big tech purchase is definitely going to be a new mic, something better than what I got right now. But I'm not going nearly the route you went, just because that's just not my. I mean, I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even use like a Go XLR probably. Like I'd use it a few times and then just it really wouldn't. It's just not my style.
No,
you
would probably actually benefit more from like the mini, which it doesn't have the sampler stuff or the voice changer stuff. It's just the sliders.
I mean, that'd be the only thing I'd want. Like, would be the voice changer stuff, and yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean, I ideally, yeah. The Go XLR stuff. It's a lot of set it and then forget it. Like, yeah, that is kind of the point of stuff like that. But there is some like really like unique stuff, like the mute buttons down for like every slider. You can actually set them to, like, if you like just like single tap it, it will mute me to the voice chat, so I can still talk to the stream, or I can set it to mute to the stream and still be able to talk to voice chat. And like, there's a bunch of different just mute settings. But yeah, there's just mute my headphones, mute line out. Or I can long press to like fully mute it, and like the slider, because I've got the expensive Go XLR, all the sliders are motorized. So like when I change like pro profiles, the sliders go whoosh, 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 and slide into place.
The Go XLR is definitely impressive from all the stuff you were actually telling me about it. And, but just like right now, one, not in the position where I can spend that money, and two, I couldn't justify spending that money even if I had it.
I bought,
because I don't think I would get all the benefits out of it.
I bought all of the stuff from Sweetwater, which allows you to finance. So I didn't buy it all just outright. I'm slowly paying for it and stuff like that. And this isn't even my first choice of microphone, because of the pandemic. Go XLRs have gotten a lot harder to find, as well as microphones.
Yeah, definitely.
Because my actual first choice was a Rode podcaster, not a pod mic, but a podcast Procaster, not a podcaster, Procaster. It was a Rode Procaster, but could not find it. It wasn't in stock for Sweetwater, and I emailed them there. They said, yeah, it's probably going to be, they're saying mid-November, but I wouldn't count on that date. It's like, oh, okay. Which I really wanted this, definitely for Extra Life. I would at least wanted a microphone before Extra Life. So I decided to go with one that was already in stock, which was the Electro Voice mic, which I think it sounds good. Oh, I totally forgot to show it. But if you're watching the stream, right there is kind of what it looks like. And of course, it's RGB. Of course, you can set all the lights to it and everything. Although at this moment, it's not fully RGB. It's set colors. But I'm now part of the Go XLR or the Helicon Gaming Discord channel, and they're talking about coming soonish, allowing more custom colors, so I can actually have that specific shade of green that my logo is, that I tend to use a lot, because it's a certain shade of green. So, but I'm very happy with it. Which, hell, I should be. I just spent $1,000.
Yeah.
But the other things that I've been doing, I've been continuously playing Spellbreak, which yesterday they had a big content patch. They released what they called their prologue to the actual story, which is basically now this is their battle pass.
Oh, okay.
So they now have their first battle pass out, and it's free. The prologue battle pass is free. And they also released a new mode. It's a Clash 9v9, which is deathmatch, essentially. It's still in the same. It's still in the same map, and you still have to loot like you do in Battle Royale, but you respawn. And the kill limit is set to 54, which that's a weird number. I think it's set to the least members on the team, because I've not been in a full team because either somebody drops or whatever during the match. It's set to everybody on the smallest team dying 5 times. I think that's the number it's set to.
Okay.
Which 54 doesn't make sense either, but I don't know, that's what is written up. So, but it is hectic, especially at the end, because when you die, you get to keep all of your stuff, but you also drop a copy of what you're carrying too. So by the end, everybody has legendary equipment, and there's still a circle that does get smaller. It's nowhere near as small as like the last circle in the game, but it still pushes everybody together, and it's just chaos by the end. Just spells going off, you know, so many firewalls, so many toxic clouds, so many, like, everything happening at once in the same spot. It's pure chaos, and it's kind of fun. Especially because, with this battle pass, there are weekly missions or quests. They have daily quests, but now there are weekly ones that are tied directly to the quote story. And those are usually like, hey, get 300 fire damage, or get do 100 damage with your firewall. And then you got your daily quest, which can be something like, get 300 damage with frost. I'm like, well, I suck with frost, so why not do the mode where I can respawn a bunch? And I was actually able to get that one relatively quickly, compared to when I've tried that one in the past. Because I've actually just skipped that one. Like, I'm not going to finish that quest because that just sucks. But so far I like it. There's Halloween costumes now, and their Halloween stuff is not bad. It's okay. And yeah, more people should play Spellbreak. Get more people in there. Another thing I played was the Black Ops Cold War beta. And I liked this better than I expected I would. It was not bad.
I downloaded it. I just forgot to actually play it, and I'm kicking myself for it. But I mean, luckily I think we're gonna get codes for it, so I can try it.
You might
when it comes out.
You might. I don't. I don't have that luck.
Well, no, I messaged them and asked for 2, and they said it shouldn't be a problem.
Probably get 1.
I mean, that's
what I'm saying. You'll get 1 for yourself. So, but, yeah, I like this better than I really thought I would. They brought back map voting, which a lot of people, they hated about Modern Warfare was there wasn't a way to vote maps. But because of map voting, there was one map. My first 7 map matches were on this one map.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I thought map voting, like, at least the way I remembered it was like it wouldn't give you the same maps to vote on multiple times in a row.
Totally did.
At least that's how it was, right? Like
it totally did.
First few Black Ops.
It was here's this map. Here's this map. Here's our Armada, which is the boat map, and then here's another map. And everybody voted for Armada. Like, well, can I at least?
I guess that
try
could be
the other
because
maps?
there's only a couple maps.
There were 7.
How many? Oh, there were 7. Wow, there were 7 in the beta.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot.
I only played the Miami map and the Russian map. I think it's called Moscow. Maybe 3 times each. Maybe. Like they weren't really that prominent, but I played the Armada map tons because that's what people kept voting for. But it was fun.
Hopefully that gets fixed.
I enjoyed it. And another complaint that a lot of people had with Modern Warfare is you play a game with people, and then the next match it's a brand new lobby. You don't actually stay with the players. That's now you actually can continue playing with the same people, which is good or bad, depending on the people. I definitely came across some people like, you are an asshole, I'm going to mute you. And then I played with them for like three games, but they were muted. So, it was, like I said, better than I thought. If I don't end up getting a code for it, I'll probably end up buying it anyway. Which I realized the release date. I was like, this one's later than like the last 2 Call of Duties. Like this one,
yeah.
Because the last 2, I remember I bought and played on Extra Life. This year, Call of Duty comes out after Extra Life, and Extra Life is the latest it can be.
Yeah, I mean the Call of Duty games used to come out like mid to late November, right?
Right,
and
but
then the last few have been earlier than.
Yeah, Black Ops 4 came out like kind of around this time right now, and then Modern Warfare came out in freaking August. So yeah, this one I won't be able to play on Extra Life, which I was kind of planning on it, but then I realized the release date and like, oh no, nope, can't do that.
Wait, it did come out in August? Wow, I had no clue.
Yeah,
I totally forgot about that.
yeah, because I remember
Wow.
I held off playing the campaign till Extra Life, and I played a lot of the multiplayer before Extra Life. So and another thing that I've been playing on stream has been Freedom Fighters, which is the game I talked about last time. Like, hey, this is now available on PC. Go pick it up because more people need to play this game. Because hopefully at some point they can make a Freedom Fighters 2. That there's been petitions for Freedom Fighters 2 because petitions work. In the PC port is not great. Just because it is a PC port that you would find back in 03. So there's a lot of like modern stuff that doesn't really exist. Like being able to scale the UI to a if you have a high resolution monitor, then then you would have, 20 years ago. The UI is tiny. It's really small. And that has caused me to die a bunch of times because my health is like this big in the top left-hand corner. And the whole story of Freedom Fighters is basically it's Red Dawn. It's literally Red Dawn, the original Red Dawn, by the way, where Russia actually was doing better than they did in the Cold War. Like they invaded South Africa, they invaded Europe. They took over the UK, Cuba, and then they started rolling into America, and that's kind of where Freedom Fighters it kind of takes place. Is in New York as the Soviets are invading, saying, "We are here to liberate you and free you from your repression." Yeah, Steve kind of knocks the 2003 graphics because there's of course a lady in the game and her boobs are not they're triangles because it's 20 years ago.
So Tomb Raider.
Kinda. They're a little bit more rounded, but they would poke an eye out. Let's put it that way.
That's the technology back then.
But yeah, it's a really fun game because like the more you do, like you get like charisma, and like when you fill up your bar, you can then take like other resistance fighters with you. So like you keep filling up your bar, and like right now I'm running around with like 8 guys, and I can like give them commands like, "Hey, attack squad," or "Follow me squad." And it's so I can like, "Hey, this is kind of a hard place. You guys go fight them, and I'll hang back." So yeah, have fun with that. But let's see what else. It's like more people need to play this game because it's fun. I enjoy it. The one thing I remember way back in high school is when you beat the game, you're able to unlock cheats, and that's kind of what I'm looking forward to. And there's one cheat that has always kind of stuck in my mind of like the greatest cheat ever, called nail gun. Which whenever you kill a guy, wherever the last bullet that hit them was, would cause them to fly back at a high speed and stick to the wall, like wherever that was.
That's funny.
And I just remember in like one of like the first levels, there's this tunnel you can go down, and it's just kind of full of enemies. I just have this image of guys hanging from their hands from the tunnel because I shot them up. Because I shot up at them and shot their hands, and their hands just kind of got stuck to the ceiling. Now that I say it, like it's kind of serial killer, like, you know, hanging people in the tunnel. Yeah, that's probably not good. But I was in high school. What are you gonna do? But I'm looking forward to doing stuff like that when I beat the game.
Yeah, see, there's a huge chunk of time around that time, you know, like you're 2 years older than me, but it's still around that section of time where like I didn't play video games from like all of my high school and a little earlier than that. You know, it's like when I graduated high school and then I got an Xbox, you know, and got back into gaming afterwards. I don't know why. I guess I was just too busy with stuff. So there are a lot. There's that big chunk, you know, of time there that a lot of games people talk about, and I'm just like, I don't know. I wasn't gaming back then, so it kind of sucks because I missed out. You know.
Yeah, I guess. For me, like when I was young, like where I grew up, and my parents still live there. The area that was, you know, was a really busy street, like, you know, semi trucks kind of went down this road. So I was never able to like really kind of play outside or like play, you know, like ride bikes or something like that, because I just couldn't there. And there weren't really any kids my age around. There were a couple, but they were all girls. I'm like, I don't. You know, when you're an elementary kid, when you're in elementary school, you don't want to play with the girls. You want to play with guys. So,
yeah. I mean, back then in like elementary school stuff, yes, I played video games a lot because I lived in a
that kind of started my you know, I'm always playing video games kind of a thing, and then that just I just never stopped.
Yeah, I got busy in high school. I got busy with real life stuff like drama club and other activities and stuff like that. So.
I was in marching band, and that took up a lot of my high school time. But I was But then in downtime, a lot of us would play video games.
Yeah, I was like never at home in high school. I was hardly ever at home. Like I was at home to sleep, and that was like it.
There were, you make it sound like I had no life, which I feel like I didn't. But then, like there was a lot of times I was never home either. You know, like I'd be at a girl's house for hours. And,
I'm not trying to make it seem like you had no life. I'm just saying I was overly active. Like. That's what I'm saying. I was in a lot of like, not like not a whole lot of stuff, but enough stuff to where I was busy, and I kept busy and stuff like that, like I said, drama club with like plays and stuff like that, and then there'd be like competitive speech where we go to, we go to other schools on like Saturdays and stuff like that, and competitions where we prepare monologues and stuff like that and compete against other people and, other extracurricular activities at school and stuff like that. Newspaper. I was in newspapers, just stuff like that, like for whatever reason, I was just, it was like, that seems like fun. I should do this. Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah, Steve, that also got lost on me too. I have no idea what competitive speech is.
I described it where we would do like we prepare monologues. And there was different categories.
Yeah, I never heard of it. That's kind of the thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, your monologues, duets, prose, like just different, like, pretty much it was like competitive acting,
Okay.
There was one category I did where we'd draw, there'd be like, what was it called? I can't remember the name of it, but it was more of you draw a topic. It was more of like a political thing where you draw like a topic or whatever, and then you'd have like 20 minutes to come up with like your stance on it, and you'd have to like figure out or source like talk about a topic and with facts and stuff like that. And I don't know, it was just something that I just thought, hey, this would be an easy easy elective, and it turned out to be a lot of work. But I got to read a lot of cool plays and stuff like that when I was trying to, like, because that's what we do. You'd find like you find sections of plays and other stories, and you'd create a monologue from it, and or you'd create like a duet, two people doing what a reading, stuff like that. And I even did one from a manga, or I was going to do one with someone from a manga, but it just never panned out. But yeah, you could do whatever. Like it was very it was a great creative like outlet,
Well, speaking of competitive speech, I've played Among Us as well.
Here's where Steve leaves.
He was actually the one that says that sounds like Among Us. I've played public games. I've not played anything anybody over Discord or anything like that. And public games suck. In Among Us, I don't know how people play it like that. Because it's a lot of like you get like somebody finds a body and you go to the meetings, and just one person just says it was red, and then all of a sudden vote. What? There was nothing. It was blue. It was red. That was it. There's no like arguing or anything like that. Like that, just like this just sucks.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's a game you have to play with people or people you either or you vaguely know, or just a group where you can talk to each other and you can you can learn people's like personalities and their tells and stuff like that's some of the most interesting stuff I've been watching. Certain streamers play this, and it's like they'll get either paranoid. You can tell that they get paranoid about stuff, and they're trying to be real big brained and come up with reasonings behind stuff, and think, oh, this is someone's tell, and just it's very interesting. Like,
yeah, like
when it's done right.
Watching Among Us, with the people on Discord is great. I love watching those, but public games are just awful.
Yeah, see, I was talking to Steve about
especially
it.
When like there's like these people have like rules that also kind of suck too. Like speed is 3 times. So like you're just you're
too
zipping
much
everywhere. Like okay. In the very first game I played, it was a game where the speed was three times. I was the imposter, and I was just zipping by, just pressing Q. Just did not care, just going, just trying to run as fast as possible, trying to be the Flash, just kind of killing people as I walked by. And immediately just killed somebody, kept running, and then voted body found. It was whatever color I was. I think it was orange. Yeah, we saw you on cameras. Like, what? That's bullshit.
I mean, were the cameras on, or did you just not notice them?
I have no idea. I was going too damn fast. I could barely even see the damn map.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah.
I have no idea if they were on because I was going so damn fast.
Yeah, you definitely gotta like the rules definitely do matter. You can't just have them be like. I mean, it's fun. I've seen people play where they do turn up speed like for one round or something like, they do some weird stuff for fun rounds, but not like their normal stuff. It's so, but was it Steve? I was talking to Steve and he said he's not into it because I guess whatever videos he watched of it or whatever, they were just yelling at each other all the time. And it's like, I mean, you can get heated, or the stuff I've seen. Yeah, people do get heated where they are kind of yelling because they're trying to talk over each other and stuff like that. But like, I mean, it's just, there's not a whole lot of that, at least the stuff I've watched, where it's just complete chaos. Like I guess like the stuff he was watching. It's a interesting, like, I see. I think I don't know if I would be good at it. Steve's joking about it, but I don't know if I would be good at lying on the spot. I feel like people could easily probably tell if I was lying about stuff.
I don't know. I know, like my sister, her old roommate, and then her roommate's boyfriend, they play. And I've told her, I was like, hey, the next time you three play, let me know. I'll get Will in, and we can actually have a group of 5. We can be in Discord. And we can actually have a full game of people in Discord, and there'll only be one imposter because it's actually limited how many people are in. And
yes, Steve, you would be great at this at the game because you are very good at lying.
Yeah.
Until people figure out what your tell is.
And
because everyone has a tell.
Yeah. But something that I've not seen in like any of the videos that I watched, and I didn't know existed until I actually like opened up the game and saw it. It's like there's actually, if you have 10 players, you can actually have three imposters.
That is dumb.
Like that's kind of did not know that. Like all the ones I've seen
is too many.
Has been like 2.
Yeah.
But you can actually have up to 3. And you can actually like go into like a free play mode and like give yourself like all of the tasks. That way you at least know kind of what you're doing on a map. Because like something like you watch it like, oh, I'm not even sure how they did this. Oh, okay, that's literally this is how you do it. Okay, cool. And then it's also useful for the imposter. They're like, okay, I know there's one right here. I know it's this one. So you can actually get some practice in before you actually play with other people.
Did you see it was like the animated it was the video someone created of like 100 imposters and one crew member?
Yes.
It was a little like short. That was pretty funny. I kind of like
they've actually made a bunch of them. Like they did one. It was 100 crewmates and one imposter.
boy, that's just not fair.
And it was both of them ended kind of similarly. Like either it was the crewmate one with all the imposters that crashed on a planet. Was that all the imposters?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what the imposter did was in the cafeteria broke the window, and the vacuum sucked everybody out.
Yeah.
But yeah, and there's some pretty good Among Us like animations and stuff. I actually watched a streamer I think it was yesterday or the day before play VR chat Among Us. Like somebody recreated the most popular like the spaceship match, but in VR chat. So like it was totally like 3D.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and like when they vented, it was kind of cool too because you actually like in the vision of a vent, and actually like you were actually in the vent above him, so you look down, and you can drop down and like just kill him. It was actually really kind of cool. Actually, have like a 3D version.
Okay. Yeah, it's I've been watching a lot of streamers play this because this is one of the most popular games, and it's fun to see some people like actually be big brained and like, you know, they're like, oh, I can tell, you know, I figure out people's tells, and then it's like one person, you know, is explaining themselves and they do a little giggle and they're like, that's their tell. They did that giggle, and then it turns out like they're absolutely right. And then other situations where they think, you know, they're just so paranoid and stuff like that, to where they're coming up with things and they're just like becoming third imposter. You know, it's entertaining. Like these videos are definitely entertaining, and I'm kind of afraid it might be more entertaining just to watch than to play. I'm kind of afraid to get into a big group and play, and then it's like, oh, this isn't as fun.
We need to actually try it at least once though. So
yeah.
And the last game that I've been playing has been Baldur's Gate 3.
Okay.
And because we're into D now and stuff. I now see the changes that they made, and there's stuff that I would like to see that some other changes them make as well, because like you can really only see like. I would like to see more of like the results, like the role results than they're shown. Because like if you're like there was just one area, it was like there's a bunch of like murals on this wall. As like you gotta have to have, you know, I realize you have to have a high religion to know if you can actually know like what this is a depiction of. But like other like the dialogue skill checks and stuff, they tell you what the DC is. So like, you know, okay, I can hit this. It's, you know, it's 7. I can maybe hit this. But like stuff like the environmental stuff, it doesn't show you. It just says whether you pass or fail. Like, well, is the DC 20 or is it 3 and I just rolled a 1? Like what is it? You know, can I try with another character with actually a high, you know, can I try it with a different character? Like what can I I have no idea. So and another thing that I would like to see is like during dialogue, you can just, you know, pull your sword out and just start combat for no particular reason at all. Like, well, that's very D&D. But like you can't You can, but you can't at the same time. Like cast like a spell, like during a conversation. Like, I would like to maybe like be able to cast friends or guidance or something that like, hey, to help out with this, you know, like, oh, this DC to save this little girl is 20. Like, fuck me. Which is also why Scum Save is kind of highly used, because yeah, like, I don't want this little girl to die. I'm going to Scum Save before this conversation and try again. And
that's the first
didn't make that up either.
time I've ever heard that phrase before. Scum save.
You've never heard of scum saving?
I've never heard that.
That's been around since the 90s.
Phrase.
That's been around since the 90s.
I've never heard that phrase before. Like, I can understand what, it means. Yes. But I've never
save scum, not scum save. Save scumming. I'd prefer any game with a quick save and quick load. You can.
Yeah. For whatever reason, I've never heard people say that till just now.
Well, but yeah, that was totally a thing. I was like, this little girl, I've got to stop her from being bitten by this snake, being controlled by this druid. Like, it's a DC of 20. I don't want this little girl to die, because this could cause some problems. So I just quick save, quick load. So I finally hit a fucking 20 on that roller, which I feel like it's you roll low a lot. I don't feel like it's an actual roller. I feel like it's a weighted dice. Because boy, how many times I've like, okay, your DC is 7, but you rolled a 3. Fuck you. And another thing I would like to see is like with that like DC, what it does is it takes like what the natural DC is, and then subtracts your check score instead of like adding it to your roll. You just roll a D20 and that's it. But what you normally add to that 20 is subtracted from the DC. Like, well, because I'm used to playing. I'm used to playing D&D. Can we reverse that?
Yeah, it's interesting, I guess. Yeah,
like it makes sense. Like what they did there totally works, but I'm not used to seeing it that way.
It's the other way to do it from what is normally done.
Yeah. And there's also like some actual like some just changes. Like everybody as a bonus action can hide or can disengage. Not just a rogue. It's everybody can do that.
Oh, huh. That kind of makes the rogue less special.
Well, what the rogue can do as their cunning action, which would normally be as a bonus action, you can disengage or hide or do a dash. They can only they can just get the dash as a bonus action, and they can also get the ability to have 2 bonus actions too. Like, well, that's interesting. So, but yeah, I would just like to have like the like more numbers kind of shown. And I there are a lot of bugs, and I've not played this a ton, because one, I'm waiting on like bug fixes, and I know I'm gonna start over again, and there's only like 6 classes at the start right now.
I mean, it is early access, so it's understandable.
Right, but like some like the more popular classes aren't even like Paladin.
Oh, that's strange.
Like you think like at least if anything Paladin would be one of the ones. Instead, what they have is rogue, fighter, wizard, ranger, warlock, and cleric. But no
bard even.
No bard yet. But they will be adding, you know, paladin, bard, barbarian, sorcerer.
Do you think sorcerer?
Yeah.
Because a lot of these games they don't have the sorcerer.
Well, it's in they're adding what's in the player's handbook, and the sorcerer is in the player's handbook. And there are also some races that are missing too, like halfling. Wait, is halfling in there?
Oh, I was about to say that's a big one.
No, halfling's not in there.
It's a big one to not have.
And neither is Dragonborn. But they do have some other classes that you can pick from too. That's not in the players or races, like Githyanki. That's not in the player's handbook. That's in, I want to say, Volo's Guide. I think so. But story wise, it makes sense why the Githyanki is in it. And I'm trying to think what else. Story so far is okay. I expect more to come about. The story is basically you and your party. Well, as you gather your party, basically, you were all on this mind flayer ship, and you were implanted with a mind flayer larva that went directly into your eyeball, which was a horrifying scene to watch. But that was actually one of the trailers that they showed. Was the larva going into your eye?
That sounds horrifying.
It was horrifying because it was higher. It was such high definition video. Like, ooh, no. And basically what the goal is right now is, you know, get it out of your freaking head before it takes you over and turns you into a mind flayer. Right now, and I hope this changes. Like when you're talking to somebody or whatever, your party members are just silent. Like they've got no input on the conversation whatsoever. They're just background people for the conversation. Which even in Divinity, sometimes they would pipe up during conversations and say things. So like I'm expecting this to change, and like, you know, for them to implement, like, you know, different, you know, your party members talk during stuff. And like when you're playing multiplayer, from what I've heard, whoever initiates the conversation is the only one that picks dialogue choices. So like there's not this playback back and forth between, you know, different, like it was in the old Republic game. Because like if you were in a party, you know, different people would be able to pick the dialogue options, and it would just kind of be random. I kind of expect them to do that at some point as well.
That's a big undertaking. I mean, because how many games have actually been, as you know, as far as like voice dialogue and all that, like the Old Republic? I mean, even since then.
I mean,
like
Divinity Original Sin 2 was completely voiced, like. I mean,
really, like that?
Yeah, huh. It was fully voiced, except your character didn't speak though. But that was it.
I hate when that happens, but I get that. I get that. Everyone wants doesn't. Sometimes the developers don't want the main character to like have an actual voice because they want you to imagine you're the.
Right. Yeah, I get that too.
So I can see that.
And kind of speaking of voice, in the character creation, there were only 4 voices. I kind of hope they add more. Because like while your character doesn't speak, they grunt, of course. But there's only a deep voiced male, a high voiced male, a deep voiced woman, and a high voiced woman. That's kind of it. And of course, because it's 2020, it doesn't matter what sex you pick. You can pick any of the voices.
Yeah.
And also, if you want your lady character to have a beard, you can totally do that. Even if they're not a dwarf.
Wow, that's progressive, I guess. I don't know.
I was like, okay, that's interesting. But I'm looking forward to what this game ends up being. It's in early access right now. A lot of people are calling it alpha. This is way past alpha. This is beta. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. This is beta, because otherwise we would not be playing it. But it's only some of the first act, not even all of the first act, as far as from what I can tell. And lots of changes are coming, and it's like early access, but it's full price.
Yeah.
So it's not, pay less now or pay more later, or pay more now less later. It's just, you pay for the game now, you get it.
That's why I'm gonna hold off until there's more there, and that's fine. Smoother.
That's fine. I knew I was going to pick up this game, so I just went ahead and just bought it ahead of time.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I can't stream it. I don't know why. Like, I can play the game like by myself, ultra graphics, no hitches whatsoever. I go to stream it. I'm like, okay, maybe take this down to like high or medium. No, I get rendering lag out the wazoo. Unless I put everything on low. I'm like,
it's not like you don't have a good PC.
Right. Like, yeah, I know I now have a, my graphics card is now two generations old, but it's still okay.
Yeah, you still got a 1070. It still should be.
Yeah. But like for some reason, I don't know whether it's because of early access, but I've not seen anybody else have this issue. But I don't know if the other streamers are single streamer PC setups or dual. So I don't know if it's because I'm a single PC streamer. I don't know, but I'm not seeing anything about this.
Huh. Okay.
And I will not play this game with low settings. Just because it looks.
Gotcha.
Because no shadows at all whatsoever. I'm like, no. You need shadows.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the game doesn't look great. It's too bright. But finally, that's it for me. What about you?
You were talking about playing games in low settings. I've been having an issue with Apex, where it's been like dropping my graphic settings, like as far as like I think in one of the settings there's like how much VRAM it's gonna use,
Mm-hmm.
It's been dropping it, and I've been changing it. Like I've been having to change it because every now and then, when I'm playing, I'll like, oh, well, this is not good. And then I'm like, okay, yep, I got to change that back, but it's been dropping it down to like low.
Is the only thing I can think of is like is NVIDIA experience doing it.
I don't have any of my games set to do that. No, or it shouldn't be. I don't know if something changed. I need to look into that, but I've been noticing that's been an issue where I've been like, playing, and then all of a sudden I notice, oh my God, the textures of this building, it's just muddy. It's just looks horrible. And I'd have to go into the settings and like, oh, let's turn this up to use, whatever, six gigs of VRAM or whatever it is whatever the very high is. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, that looks way better. And it's just that one setting. It's not like, all the other settings are changed. It's just that one
odd,
it's just the VRAM. Yeah. Weird. But Apex though. I've been sticking with Apex. They just had their aftermarket event where, here's a bunch of skins. You can buy the loot boxes to the special event loot boxes to, randomly get them, or you can, buy them individually with Apex coins, or you can buy them with crafting metals. And I bought the Loba skin with crafting metals because the Loba skin was kind of cool. And
season 7's coming out soon, isn't it?
It is. They took away a week from season 6. In fact,
so really,
a lot of people were upset about that because it's like that's a week for an extra week for Battle Pass we could have used. So
right,
they're gonna do like double XP in the soon or something like that, I think, to make up for it. But they had the aftermarket event or whatever where you could get the certain skins and stuff like that. They had Caustic's heirloom, which is like a hammer or something like that. But that just ended, and now they have another event. They have the Halloween fight or fright event. And
which I heard that Fortnite has copied it.
Probably, I don't know, but from going from that aftermarket event where it's like, hey, you can buy any of these skins individually, or for Apex coins or for crafting metals, to this event where you can't. They only for right now they only have like the items bundled with other stuff. Like there's a cool Loba skin, but it's bundled with the Lifeline skin, and you can only buy it with Apex coins.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm like,
this is an ongoing complaint that we've had.
No, they just ended an event where you were able to do that, and then they do this event where you can't. Like, there wasn't a week in between. Like literally, that they ended one event, jumped into another one, and it's, hey, you gotta spend money for these skins and stuff. You can't buy them individually even because they're bundled, or stuff. It's dumb. It's really dumb. And then I saw someone posted on Reddit like, hey, last year's event, here's you were able to do that. You were able to buy them individually, and you were even able to get 2 free loot boxes that you could earn. And it's like, yeah, that's how it used to be. And then people complained, and then they took that out, which I'm like, I don't understand how people complain and you make it worse than it was. I don't know how people get away with that, but that's that's how it is. They have they have that.
Like I said, we've complained that how Apex does their store stuff makes no sense. It never has.
But we have. But like I said, that aftermarket event, it was cool because I was able to get that Loba skin with the crafting metals. I didn't have to spend Apex coins or anything like that. I was able to get the skin I wanted with the crafting metals. And I was even, there was a Wraith skin where she was kind of like a weird cat, whatever, techno cat skin, whatever I was debating on getting, but it was just like, it was way too much. And I was like, okay, they're Halloween events. I'm going to save my crafting metals for that, and then it's like, oh no, you can't, you've got to actually spend money. And it's like, well, why would you have one event where you didn't, and then have another event when, following it where you can't? It's just frustrating because, like I said, they did it in one event. That event ended. Next event, those options are not there. And it's like, it's not like they're sticking to like one stance where, skins are Apex coins and that's it. That'd be one thing if they were just sticking to one thing, but they're obviously not doing that. They're going back and forth, and it's just very weird. And there's so many like people defending this on Reddit. It's just,
how do you defend it?
It's baffling, because I made a post about this and they're like, oh, well, that's because the aftermarket event was the heirloom event, and that's where you're able to use crafting metals for. And I'm like, so is that supposed to make it any better? And they're like, no, I'm just telling you. And I'm like, well, yeah, it seems like I don't know. It's just very weird. People, and there's a lot of people defending this on Reddit too, which I'm like, I don't know. I'm wondering if there's developers like with, burner accounts doing this, or I don't know. It's just weird.
Considering it's a developer that has called their community assholes, I would say probably
asshats.
Same thing.
But yeah, I don't know.
One's just up here, one's down here. It doesn't matter.
It's just frustrating, like I said, because the aftermarket event they had the solution to help people who've been playing for a while, who maybe don't want to spend money, or they have a lot of crafting metals already, stuff like that. Like that was a good compromise, I thought. Letting people, it's like, I play Loba, I care about the Loba skin, so let me be able to just buy her skin if I want with crafting metals, individually or whatever. But no, they're just like, hey, we let you for these skins, but the cool Halloween ones, you're definitely going to have to spend money on. And it's like, okay. And even their, cause all these events, they have like mini battle passes where you do the special challenges every day. And even that stuff isn't exciting. Like the only skin they have for that, like character skin, is this like Pathfinder skin that's really not anything spectacular at all. And then they have they have some extra XPs in there, and then they have like some Gibraltar like trackers, and I think they have like maybe a flatline skin or some weapon skin, and that's like it. Oh, and a weapon charm. I think it's like a Nessie that's dressed up like a pirate, which I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool for a weapon charm, like a little Nessie, because the monsters are like Loch Ness,
right? Yeah,
or at least that were there. They were like Loch Ness monster types. So, but yeah, it's just kind of baffling how it's like, okay, it's not perfect, but at least they have a solution that lets people who don't want to spend a whole lot of money at least get like one skin for their main character, and then they go to this other event where it's like, that's not an option. It's just weird. But so yeah, that's was it with season 7? There's a lot of curiosity behind that, because it's going to launch on Steam and Switch, I believe, it's either November 4th or November 7th. I think it's like November 4th. I Apex Season 7. Let me look that up.
November 4th.
November 4th. Okay, yeah. So with that, I think Steam and Switch, and then what else? There's the rumors that there's going to be a new map, and there's like there's been some stuff where it's like I've even got something that was like, hey, some weird like transmission thing that was like, hey, you should go to the firing range, and I've already saw there was a video of someone who got that where there was like a message from another character, like a transmission or something that's like teasing a new character.
Is Apex on Switch now?
I don't think so.
Because I swear I read an article saying that Apex Legends for Switch was delayed till 2021.
I think it was supposed to. I think it's or at least I saw it was supposed to come out when Season 7 starts. Maybe.
Yeah, here's a Destructoid article. Apex Legends slips to 2021 on Nintendo Switch.
When was that article?
4 hours ago.
Okay, then yeah, okay, that makes sense then, because yeah, like I was about to say, I saw something like yesterday that was saying it was supposed to come to PC and Switch, and I've been seeing a lot of memes of like, people saying, hey, or I saw some, there was a meme where it was like Andy dropping Woody, which is Origin, and then like, for Steam.
If you can bring your stuff over from Origin to Steam, totally do it.
You're going to have to log into Origin anyway, and have Origin anyways, probably.
I don't know. I've not played any of the games that have come from Origin to Steam, so I don't know whether you have to have both.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I just imagine
if you just have to have it logged in, but not running. Totally.
Because like with like for instance, like the Division 2, when you log into that on like the Epic Games, you still have to have the Uplay downloaded and all that stuff.
As long as you don't have to have it running, I'm fine. Because Origin, if you leave it running, will eat RAM. So
that's true.
It I don't know if it's actually been fixed, but a while back it had a memory leak issue where if you kept it running for a while, your RAM would just get eaten by it. So it's just the kind of a pain just go, okay, open up Origin, play the game, now close Origin.
Yeah, but apparently and also, crossplay has been added. So apparently a lot of people are saying like this next season is going to be something big and huge. And that's the reason why they cut a week off, is because they didn't want it to start, when a lot of these other games are out, coming out in mid-November. Right. They wanted it to start a little beforehand. So people you have a chance to play it and buy the new character, and whatever, buy the battle pass and all that stuff, before these games come out, they may not finish it or whatever, but at least they'll give their money right before these other games release.
Mm-hmm.
So, besides that, I really haven't been playing a whole lot. I did right before we got on, I did try the, where is it? The Immortals Phoenix Rising demo on Stadia.
Oh,
because it's free for anybody to play. From what I could tell, the demo isn't available otherwise. It's a Stadia thing. So, I didn't have to you don't have to have Stadia Pro or whatever it's called, So I loaded it in. It even says, like, I think it even says like you don't even need an account, I believe. No account or no credit, something like that. I remember it said no credit cards even for it, but I fired it up and played through the demo, and it's fun. I'm kind of excited for this. This is the Ubisoft game that was Gods and Monsters previously.
Oh, okay. I was like, I have no idea what this game is, but now that you say that, I totally do.
But a lot of speculation about Monster Energy kind of is the reason why they had to change the name, which is kind of weird.
That's bullshit. That is no way.
There was some lawsuits, or there was some like something like. I've seen a lot of stuff back when that first happened. That
sounds like something that people have know nothing about saying something.
Like industry people were talking about this and reporting on it back when they changed the name.
I don't know.
Like, it doesn't make any sense to me, but the people I was seeing talk about it, they were making it like, oh yeah, it sounds about right. And I'm like, no, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. Because
whatever.
Yeah. You cannot trademark a name like as so generic as Monster. You can't.
I mean, they didn't. It wasn't like it was trademarked, but like they were. I guess they were threatening to, like, I don't know. It was going to impact their branding or some lawyer speak. Some stupid lawyer.
Gods and Monsters name change is due to a trademark challenge by Monster Energy.
Oh, really? Okay.
So, like,
it was trademarked.
You cannot trademark a name like Monster. You can't. It's too generic. It's too widely known. It existed before Monster Energy. You can't trademark that name.
Probably not, but it was probably a thing where Ubisoft was like, let's just change the name. It's easier than trying to fight this, you know? It's not worth fighting it.
Hey, do a deal with them. Hey, we'll, do some advertising thing with Monster Energy. Hey.
I mean, they're too busy doing Halo right now, I think. So, which is weird because Halo's not coming out, but yet there's all this Halo and Monster stuff because it was supposed to come out. Like, I think if you sign up for
Mountain Dew. Okay.
Yeah. But it's Monster now. Like, even if there's a way where you can sign up for like some Monster account in order to add the codes, and they're just giving away Halo 5. Like, I signed up and got a copy just because. Why not? This is separate from the thing I was telling you or talking to you about earlier.
I do enjoy drinking Monster, and I do not like Mountain Dew. So
I like all the other Mountain Dew flavors besides regular.
I agree with that.
Like the Code Reds.
I agree with that.
The Live Wires and the Baja Blast.
I'm totally with that. Yeah, I do not like.
Although they do have a Monster that's like watermelon. I saw. It's like one of the big Twitch ads. Whenever I do the Twitch ads for bits, it's like a Monster watermelon ad, and I'm like, I kind of want to try that because the watermelon Red Bull was good.
If it comes in sugar,
I tried that once.
Sugar-free, I'll totally try it.
I think it does.
Okay,
I could be wrong, but anyways. The Immortal Phoenix Rising, it seems like a Zelda clone.
Cool.
And it's about an hour long. It's kind of fun because you're able to like it's big on stamina. Like there's different stuff you can do. Like you can climb up pretty much anything, but you can only climb as much as your stamina bar. So like if you're climbing something really, really high and your stamina is about to run out, you're going to just fall. Or you can if you have a stamina potion, you can take a stamina potion to, gain, what are they called? I think they call them chunks, stamina chunks, and then like health chunks, like instead of like, I guess just the bars. or pieces. Yeah, like health bars or they call them chunks, and like armor and stuff like that gives you like, this will give you one chunk, or this will give, this piece will give you minus 25% stamina use, like you don't use it you use 25% less, than you normally would, which is kind of a weird way to phrase it. But anyways, it looks really good too. I like the look of it. The demo was like, it feels like they made this to be a demo, because it's like Zeus is talking to Prometheus. Prometheus is chained up, like the myth,
right?
Whatever, and they're talking, and it's kind of like narrating you, or they are narrating the demo. Like he's talking through the story and stuff like that. There's a part where, and there's a lot of humor to this. Like there's a lot of humor to the point where you get to like, hey, and here's and Phoenix, the main character's name is Phoenix. It's like Phoenix comes across a horse, and then it's like, no, it was actually a griffin, or and then he's like, no, whatever, it was a Cerberus. That's the three-headed dog.
Three-headed dog. Yep.
Yeah, it's like, it was a Cerberus, and then Prometheus is like, no, Cerberus is with Hades or whatever. They're like, oh, okay, then it was this, or it might have. And then Prometheus, keeps going to different stuff and keeps changing, in like the cutscene or whatever. And then it's like, yeah, it might as well have been a group of roosters, and then it's roosters, and you have to kill a bunch of roosters. But it's so there's some humor to it. It's free right now. There's on Stadia, like I said, there's a couple other games. I think there's like a Pac-Man game and something else you can play on, but like, I don't know. I heard about this, and the little that I saw, I think when I saw this from the last, like, whatever the Ubisoft thing is called, I forget what they call their like press events or whatever.
I don't know.
But the last one they had, they showed Immortals Phoenix Rising, and everyone was like, oh yeah, it looks like a Zelda game, and it looks fun, and it's I just happened to hear about the Stadia, because I guess Stadia is partnered with, I guess they kind of have been partnered with Ubisoft, because like when I tried it, when it was Project or whatever it was, I forget what it was called, when it was the Google streaming, Project Streaming or whatever it was called before it was Stadia. The thing that they were testing out was Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Right.
And I played a few hours of that on it and was impressed with the way it actually worked. And granted, like, I do have gigabit, at least for download, where I get like anywhere from 400 megs to the highest I've ever gotten is like 800 megs. So like, and I'm hardwired in, so I'm the best case scenario for streaming services,
right,
like this. So other people may not have, but it ran great. It, firing this up, just going to, stadia.com and, seeing, oh, there it is. I can click on this and it loads. Don't have to download anything, and just start, I had my controller plugged in and just start playing. It worked flawlessly. And it's like, if that could just be like the way it is, for everyone, it would be way more successful, because,
yeah,
it was really nice and smooth and great to, just like, I want to try this out. Okay. No, don't have to wait. Was able to do it. And I was able to play it right before we started recording.
Okay. You do need a Stadia account.
Okay. Then it's you don't need then you don't need the paid one, because I don't have the paid one.
I will try this out.
It was fun. I really enjoyed it, and I'm kind of looking forward to playing the main game, which I mean, Gods and Monsters. It's just a shame because Gods and Monsters was kind of a good name. I kind of like that name.
From just looking at it, it looked like it was a brand confusion. That was the claim.
Yeah,
I'm like,
because the main character is
sense.
Phoenix, but like Immortals Phoenix Rising is still just a weird name. Like, but it's pretty fun. There, like I said, there's from what I could tell, the stamina was a huge like factor because like there was an area where like you have to get to the demo is you have to get to like this island or whatever from another island, and I was able to get like halfway, and then I'm able to climb up this huge like mountain top like area, just get some way get a lot of height, and then I'm able to jump off of it and use wings because you have wings, and you're able to do like boosts to like running or flying with your wings or climbing, but they take up more stamina than just doing just regular gliding with your wings, or regular walking or climbing. So there's a lot of stamina like managing in this, which it's kind of interesting, but there's gear tied to it too. So I guess it won't be, it'll be more, later
by
games
the end,
once you have better gear.
You probably won't want to even think about it anymore.
Exactly. It's just probably to a point where gear will be more rewarding because of it.
Yeah.
So when you get new gear, you'll feel better, which I like gear actually mattering in games,
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny you say that because quickly going back to Baldur's Gate 3, because it's D&D, okay, guess what does not really matter? Gear.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because it only that early access only goes from level 1 to 4. So you're not going to get any like gear upgrades at all.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I'd be curious to hear what you think of it if you try it out. I enjoyed it. It looked good. It played. I didn't notice any lag at all. But like I said, I'm hardwired and I have a good connection. I'm the ideal,
Right, and I do too. So I'll definitely try it out as well.
Yeah, and also I don't think I live anywhere near where like a server farm or one of their servers is. Like the closest would probably be like Dallas, which is like 3 hours away from me. So that's not necessarily that close, but anyways, it was fun. I'm kind of looking forward to the full game now after playing that, and hopefully
that's kind of the point of a demo.
Yeah, and like I said, this was like created specifically. It seemed like this was created specifically to be a demo for this game, Or at least either a demo or it's a repurposed tutorial. I don't know, but hopefully this comes out to more than just Stadia soon, because more people need to check this out so they can tell if they want to actually play the full game. Because
you're talking
a lot of people
about the demo.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are kind of maybe not quite sure what this game's all about, especially since the name change, So, that's all I've really been up to playing. So,
okay.
We got a couple news topics we can get through real quick.
Yeah, it looks like they're actually kind of the same thing. Even
are they?
I mean, they're both kind of about the same topic.
Oh yeah. You said the same thing, and I'm like, did I put the exact same thing? Did I pull an ace?
No. Project Cloud. Phil Spencer gave hints that there might be an xCloud streaming stick, which totally makes sense.
Duh.
And that's kind of cool. And kind of what I'm imagining in my head is something like a Fire Stick or a Hulu stick, just that'd be. And it makes complete sense, just
it's like how Stadia is with you plug in a Chromecast and you can play.
Right.
Yeah.
You just pair a controller to the stick because the stick probably has got Bluetooth, and then xCloud is on your TV. That's awesome. Because I would totally love, because I have my consoles hooked up to my PC, and sometimes I like to sit on the couch and play games, but it'd be a pain in the ass just to move my consoles over there just to play. So having a dedicated stick just to do that would be fantastic. I mean, I've tried Steam Link for actual like PC games, and it kind of works, but it kind of doesn't at the same time.
Yeah, see, the thing I've always wondered is like, I wonder if the future, like, will they like just be like, okay, here's the xCloud app for Xbox One, so you can stream. You have the day one Xbox One from 2013. Well, here's the xCloud app, so you can continue on playing the next generation of games. Seems
that's where at least Microsoft is going.
Yeah,
is something like that.
Because did you hear they recently added cloud? They gave people free cloud saves on 360. Because apparently before cloud save, I guess on 360 cloud saves is a paid part of Xbox Gold.
I did not realize that.
Yeah, I didn't either until I saw that they gave it they made it free now for everyone. Because I guess they're like hoping people maybe will come over or whatnot. But I mean, also that, like, what if people who are still with 360s, if they make a xCloud? Because I'm sure Xbox 360 has more computing power than like a Chromecast, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it should, what if they make an app where people with Xbox 360s can stream, as long as they have Game Pass Ultimate, they can stream, Halo Infinite and stuff like that. I mean, that's just more people. That's what Xbox is trying to do. They're trying to make it to where more people can get into their ecosystem, and maybe, maybe they'll be like, oh yeah, there are some cool games and this is great. Maybe I do want to upgrade from my 360 to a Series X or Series S or whatever. And, Game Pass is that kind of like gateway to
right. Or totally like
Xbox ecosystem.
Even not just somebody with, an Xbox 360, but somebody who has never played games before. This is just an easy onboarding thing because like right now it's kind of blocked off with like $100, hundreds of dollars pieces of hardware. So this could, onboard them into the Microsoft ecosystem, and then eventually they might buy, a Series X or a Series S.
Yeah, right now the Android is able to have the xCloud. They talked about doing a browser-based solution for iPhones. They're working on that. It was reported Phil Spencer talked to the company about that's going to be, I guess in a company-wide meeting or something like that.
I guess that's better than the ultimatum that Apple gave them.
Oh yeah, where they have to
where every single game needs to be a dedicated app.
Yeah, it's just dumb. Yeah.
It's like, Apple, What happened to you? Like, seriously, what happened?
Yeah.
Who hurt you?
But I also saw the xCloud PC like beta, I think, is coming up soon, or I saw something about that. Which is, it's kind of weird. You'd think that would have already been a thing, like xCloud for Windows would have already, you'd feel like that would be an easier one for them to do, but I guess they were more focused on getting mobile and stuff to work first,
Right.
But I saw something about that's coming soon, I think, or so that'll be interesting. But yeah, the whole like streaming stick is just, that's kind of, everyone thought that would be, I mean, that's like one of the worst kept secrets Microsoft has had. Like that's going to be a thing. I mean, I could see they don't want it to be a thing right now because they're trying to sell consoles,
right
away. But like, yeah, I'm sure that'll be a thing soon enough.
Maybe who, like spring or something like that. Like
I can definitely see that being a good time. Yeah,
I can see it not being, only just a few months away.
Yeah. Then it's great. They have like all their bases covered. They got people who can play on their phones if they're fine with just that. They've got people who they want next gen, but they don't have a 4K TV. So but they still want better enhancements and stuff like that. So you got the Series S, and they've got the Series X for the people who want the best of the best.
Mm-hmm.
Or they got the PC for the people who truly want the best of the best.
Exactly.
So it's just it's crazy to see how Xbox has come from the whole 2013 like Xbox One launch debacle stuff, and it's all due to Phil Spencer.
Absolutely, yes,
wholeheartedly believe. Like,
yeah, absolutely, yes.
He's ahead of he's head of Xbox, but he's also a gamer, so he understands,
which is surprising how that wasn't true before this,
right? Like, just night and day from Don Matrix to him, like,
yeah,
and it's so. Was it my next? Speaking of sticking with like xCloud and stuff like that, I don't know if you've know this, but they're like adapting games in xCloud to have touchscreen controls.
Yeah, I've not even tried xCloud at all, so I've never even. Which is awesome.
Yeah, Thursday they announced like 10 titles that will have touch control support for Android and Android tablets and phones. That includes Dead Cells,
cool,
Guacamelee 2, Hellblade, Sinuous Sacrifice. I don't know how you say that. Hot Shot Racing, right. Killer Instinct, New Super Lucky's Tale, Slay the Spire, Streets of Rage, Tell Me Why, and Undermine. So there's it's a variety, of games. Like, it's not just all small little games. Like,
like fighter with
Slay the Spire
touch controls. That's interesting.
I mean, it's not the only way you can play it, though. It's just an option for people who want to play something. But
yeah, I understand what you mean. Yeah. But it's still interesting to have a fighter with touch controls.
I mean, this is just okay, I'm out. I want to play something. I don't have a controller with me, though. So let me play like Slay the Spire through xCloud, or let me play this through, that's where I'm kind of seeing this, like this. I mean, this is the purpose of this.
That's the whole point of it. That's what's on here is the point of it, but still. Yeah.
Versus it's like, okay, I'm on a trip somewhere, so I know I'm going to take my controller, with me so that I can play xCloud, like that's that. So yeah, it's interesting that they're like actually doing this, because it's not like they can just like, I mean, there's work that has to be done for this to be a thing. So
yeah,
kudos to them. Like, Game Pass is just, it's the best deal in gaming. It truly is. Like, it's hard to say otherwise. Like, you just the fact that all the games you get, and, like, I don't have Ultimate because, I don't really play on console anymore. I just have the PC Game Pass, but, I'm still, still looking forward to stuff coming out on it. And I've got a lot of stuff I've downloaded on PC Game Pass that I really need to go through, but I just haven't yet. And I keep seeing them adding more and more stuff, and it's just like, man, can you imagine being a kid right now and having Game Pass? Like,
you just have
that's the
so
dream.
so many games to play, and yet you're still bored.
When you're a kid, you have all the time in the world. So
there's nothing to play. I'm bored. You have all these free games you can play, but there's nothing to play. Fortnite.
All these free, like, AAA full title, like,
holy shit, they're having
title games even.
I didn't realize this. I just loaded up Xbox.
Oh yeah, that got added.
I only thought that was on Switch.
Yeah, they got a lot of stuff, and then it's like all the new stuff that's Xbox is coming. You're gonna get in all the new stuff the Xbox bought from Bethesda. So it's just crazy.
Are they gonna? I've not heard how they are actually gonna add all of Bethesda's library to this, to Game Pass.
I'm sure they will.
Bethesda said that. Well, like Todd Howard said, like, yes, that'd be cool, but that's not up to us. That's up to Xbox.
Yeah, I mean, they've already have a connection, or they've already have a relationship, because Fallout. No, I mean, before this, like, like Fallout, some of the Fallout games and stuff, Elder Scrolls Online was on Game Pass, stuff like that. So, like, they've had a connection, or they've had a relationship with them before they bought them out. So I'm sure it's just, what they're waiting for the paperwork to officially, be completed before they can put everything on,
For the ink to dry, as they say.
Yeah, because they also added, like, they've added, I think Brutal Legend on PC Game Pass and stuff like that. So some of those Double Fine games, are finally coming in. It's just it's probably also like having to make it, like, I don't know if it's like ported from being like released on Steam or whatever to being, on, PC Game Pass. I don't know what work has to be done there, but I'm sure
it's got to be something that's would take the file that's moddable and then make it not moddable and hide it from everybody to even know what that file is, including the user. Oh, sorry.
I'm just interested in, because they said Game Pass is coming to Steam, right?
And you will be locked out of those files too.
I'm wondering how that's going to work. But anyways, yeah, I don't know how they keep making Game Pass like better and better, and how they keep diving and putting so much money and effort and all that into Game Pass. Like, it's crazy.
I'm just really waiting for them to make those games. You can't tell from what I've been saying, to make those games fucking moddable, like they said about a year ago.
Yeah, I get that, you know.
Because, hey,
Hopefully,
I would love to play Outer Worlds modded.
hopefully, you know, when Game Pass is on Steam or whatever, maybe that'll be the way you can do that.
Maybe.
You know, give people the option through that versus like just, I don't know, regular Game Pass, you know, app or whatever. I don't know. We'll see though. But I guess that's it for the show. We've been talking for quite a bit.
Yeah.
So be sure to check out. Be sure to follow us on Twitter. Stuart is at Casual Terror. I am at willplaygames_. For whenever, you know, I really haven't been streaming a lot lately because a lot of stuff has been happening. I've had to take care of in real life, but I'm trying to. I want to stream real soon and start. I have a couple things in mind, like a couple like games I want to play, like, you know, like series, like a kind of like a series, the let's play series type thing where I just play through one game, you know.
That's kind of what I'm doing with Freedom Fighters.
With Freedom Fighter, yeah, kind of like that. So hopefully I can get that started. I really want to do Alan Wake before October's over, just because it just seems like the perfect excuse to play through that game again.
Well, you have a week.
Yeah. It's not a long game as long as I started in October, you know. Anyways, be sure to follow us on Twitter. It's the best way to get notifications for when we're doing stuff like this, or if we're streaming, and you know, whether it's video games or D&D, which we do every other week, every other Sunday.
This weekend.
This weekend. Excited about that.
Me too, actually.
And, you know, links. Yeah. There's links to all of our other stuff on the website, thegeeksftw.com. But until, you know, we'll catch it.
I've mentioned it a couple of times this podcast already, but I am once again 9th year in a row doing Extra Life. Yep. Which is the 7th and 8th. So not this weekend, not next weekend, but the weekend after that is Extra Life. And once again, I'm going to be doing 12 and 12. So 12 hours on Saturday, 12 hours on Sunday. That also happens to be during D&D time. So we will be playing D&D during Extra Life. And let me tell you, I am super excited for that. Because what I have a one-shot planned, and it is wonderful.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's wonderful.
I'm excited. So yeah,
let's just say this, because Extra Life falls right after Halloween, and it's usually a lot closer to Halloween than it is this year. A lot of Halloween stuff is still kind of in games and stuff. So I'm taking that over to D&D. So our D&D game will be spooky.
Oh, I'm excited. No.
It will be spooky and kind of scary. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and the stream setup that Stuart has is really great. So if people want to come by and watch us, you know, play, it's, you know, we aren't the best at role playing, but we've been getting a lot better, I think.
Right.
I mean, especially like me, I'm a lot newer to this kind of stuff, trying to understand the rules. And I think I have most of the rules and stuff sorted. So I've been trying to dabble more on the role playing side of things.
Which is good.
So
I'm also not great at role playing, which has led to some confusion in my bad acting. So, but that's true. That's changed the story completely for the better. In one case in particular, it changed the story so much better.
That's
what it was.
I forgot about that. Yeah. So yeah, we have a good time, and it's a crazy group we have. So yeah, but yeah, follow us on Twitter to get notified for whenever any of that stuff is happening, and we will catch you next time.
And remember, no animals were harmed or naked this podcast.